3 fights are down, 1 fight remains. Tonight, bots on the bubble look to rise from the rubble and show us why they deserve a spot in the tournament. Others are here only to play spoiler, ready to crush the dreams they wish were theirs. Everything rides on the 4th fight, and it starts tonight on BattleBots Reborn Cup.
Hello everybody, welcome back to BattleBots Reborn Cup. I am the Sam, this is the Nick.
Hello.
Yes, hello. We are starting off a little bit differently this time. We're sitting, not standing, because not Nick for once, I hurt my knee.
Yeah, I'm almost halfway through my rehab at this point, and now it's about to be her turn. Yeah, so you've got one leg to stand on, and as we start round 4, some of these bots actually have one leg to stand on. And when all is said and done, it might be 0.
It's gonna be a super exciting episode. So let's just get into it. Tonight we'll see if Brutus can play spoiler when he fights Bloodsport.
Death Star meets Black Dragon in what is essentially a win-or-go-home match.
And in the main event, rivals Son of Whyachi and Biohazard put their 2-1 records on the line. For more on that Clash of the Giants, we go to the pit reporter, Captain Mantine.
Thank you, Sam, and this is really the mother of all matchups here, a rematch of epic proportions. The real-life fight was a fantastic one, an instant classic, and I'm not sure how this one's going to go. I feel like it should be another, very similar to the real fight, a good classic fight, you know. There's got to be some tactics involved on both sides. Whyachi's got to be able to get away from Biohazard, avoid the walls, and be able to spin up freely, while Biohazard really has to stay on him and make sure that he can keep him in the corners, keep him from spinning up. And I feel like if this is a well-driven fight, it's going to be an instant classic in the Reborn community, and I'm really excited for this one, actually.
Thank you, Cap. Yeah, it's a big matchup between 2 big rivals, and with so much on the line, you know that they're just both going to go all out, and it's going to be an exciting match.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting. I'm super ready to see it all, but we're going to go into it. First up, we have Mo versus Deathroll. Both Mo and Deathroll have been surprise success stories so far.
Yeah, both bots coming into this fight 3-0, and they are absolutely loving life, because I don't think either of them expected that at the start of the campaign. With a playoff berth secured for each, now it's just about getting a higher seed, which could play a big factor in how far each bot goes this season.
Whose resume is more impressive currently?
Well, they both have impressive resumes. I would look towards... It's really tough, actually. I'm not going to pick anyone, you know?
Yeah, sure. That's the scapegoat way to get out of it.
That's right.
Well, let's go see who's more impressive down in the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, what does MO stand for? Menace of everything? Master of extremism? Nah, it just stands for your executioner, Mo! In the blue square, he's gonna put more holes in you than a pair of Crocs. It's Deathroll!
Let round 4 begin. One of these bots looking to go 4-0 heading into the bracket.
It's sure one exciting fight. Whoa, wheel!
Already a wheel and a piece off as Deathroll gets to work early, and another big shot on the backside of Mo. Oh, goodness!
A weapon!
That came out of nowhere. Once again, Mo digging deep from a bad spot. to all of a sudden take the lead in the fight.
I was gonna mention how it was gonna be an exciting fight because they're aiming for 4-0, but geez, didn't expect this. Now we have smoke coming out of Death Roll.
Yeah, he was aiming for 4-0, now he's just aiming to survive. And he must have been feeling great about his start. But now Mo is just teeing off with the damage. And it's getting worse for Death Roll, and it's over for Death Roll. Mo has turned it around yet again. Well, what a fantastic fight, albeit a short one. Death Roll with a very quick start, and then all of a sudden his weapon was gone.
Yeah, it was super exciting to see the wheel come off of Mo, but within that one hit, it was just, it kind of just ended it for Death Roll.
Kat, what do you think? Did Death Roll make a driving mistake, or was Mo just good?
I think Mo was very well driven there, but I think Death Roll was a little too aggressive. You know, patience is a virtue, and it was trying to go in a little too hard, and it ended up paying the ultimate price for it.
Well, the beginning of the match looked to be leaning one way, but it ended at the other.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story of Mo's season. Seems like every fight he starts off a little slow, loses a wheel, and then all of a sudden he turns it around. And he's done that 4 times to go 4-0. What an awesome season it is for him, and he'll be happy to continue on into the playoffs. We'll see how well he does.
Well, speaking of things possibly turning around, our next match is Gemini versus Spitfire. For Gemini, things were splendid after the qualifiers, but since then, not so much.
Yeah, once they got into Fight Night and started to face the big boys, they started to become the minnows. They started losing, and it hasn't been pretty at times. It was definitely not pretty last round when they knocked themselves out a little bit, but there's still something to play for here.
Meanwhile, Spitfire sits at 2-1. His strength of schedule isn't the best, so what does the future hold for him with this match in mind?
There might not be a future if he loses, quite frankly. With a weak strength of schedule, 2-2 might not be good enough. There's so many factors that will determine whether you're in or out, so he needs to make sure he gets a win, or at least in defeat looks okay, but that might not even be enough.
Well, let's go down to the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square. Okay, ma'am, we're almost done. Just one more push and it's over. Congratulations! It's twins! Enjoy the next 20 years of kicking, screaming and whining from Gemini! In the blue square. You know, I honestly preferred it when it was yellow rather than green. It's Spitfire!
Let the bot battle begin. So can the Geminis play spoiler to Spitfire's playoff hopes?
Or will they just run into each other a bunch and potentially lose?
With them in the box, anything is possible. Not the best driving there by Spitfire as he took a shot from Fred before going over to Hydroxyl.
I want to say it's also not the best driving from the Geminis as well.
They're just trying to stay as far away from each other as possible so that they don't hit each other, maybe.
Well, I think they just did.
Probably. Spitfire got a flip in there on Fred, but he's taking another shot from Fred. And another one. Spitfire needs to make sure that when he makes contact with a Gemini, he's getting a good flip because he can't afford to miss while the Gemini's getting attacked. Like right now, he needs to get out of there, and there's why. There's smoke coming out of Spitfire's left side.
Doesn't look like it needed much to get smoke coming out of him, but both of the Geminis are flipped. Don't know how that's going to affect them whatsoever while they're hitting each other.
Oh, and another weapon, a weapon shot as well. I don't know who instigated it because they're both upside down at the moment. And now Spitfire getting pinned in between the Geminis.
More smoke now, not looking good for Spitfire.
Yeah, the Geminis just keep clipping him at every possible moment. There's a static shot. There's another.
One more and it's done.
Spitfire on his last life, and his last life has expired. The Geminis take the win and get Havoc glitched into Spitfire. Well, in a fight like this, you need perfect driving if you're the opponent of Gemini. Spitfire made a lot of driving mistakes.
Yeah, overall there could have been a lot better handling done in terms of the driving for Spitfire, but all in all, I'll say he tried his best.
The Geminis end the Fight Night campaign at 1-3. They came out of the qualifiers to get to Fight Night. Do you think over the course of their fights they showed enough that they will get promoted to Tier 3 and not have to go through the qualifiers in Season 7?
I don't know, if I were one of the people choosing the bots, I'd see that they mainly hit each other, but it could be for comedic effect, you know, put them in for funsies.
Well, if the Geminis are to return next year in Fight Night, hopefully they don't have to do it the hard way.
Well, Gemini finally has a win under his belt.
Yeah, that's nice to see. And it may have come just in time because when the selection committee for Season 7 starts to look at who should go up a tier and down a tier, maybe they've done enough now that they can skip qualifiers next year. That's what was on the line for them, and they went out fighting like it mattered.
It'll be fun to find out, but we'll have to wait, of course.
Yeah.
Anyways, going to the third fight for the night, we have Bronco versus Bombshell. It's been a good season for Bombshell, no matter what happens next.
Yeah, I think they'll be very pleased with how things have gone. They've been competitive in their fights, and they've gotten a couple wins. They're in the mix. That's what's important. A lot of these bots were fighting just for the opportunity to duel with the big boys, and Bombshell has done just that.
Is Bronco fighting for his life?
Kind of, yeah. His season has been pretty poor by his standards, and by some other bot standards, to be fair. This is an important fight for Bronco because when we're always talking about how the standings are going to work and whether or not you can jump somebody that's near you, if Bronco wins, they're both 2-2. Bronco then has the tiebreaker. That's a big, big double whammy that could go against Bombshell.
Well, let's find out. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun.
Down the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square. And the award for most boring design, most disinteresting colour scheme, and most overhyped robot ever to exist goes to Bronco! In the blue square. I'm running out of jokes to make for this robot. He's still bad and is constantly bombing. That's good enough. It's Bombshell!
Let the bot battle begin! These two last fought in the prediction series. Bronco won via knockout. A lot has changed since then.
Bronco now has to try and deal with the drone now, and I don't know how he's going to go about trying to handle that.
A lot of good defensive maneuvers from both bots in their driving. Not allowing the other to line up a good shot, but Bronco makes a slight mistake there, and Bombshell isn't able to take advantage. And then gets hit by his drone.
I thought Bronco was going to be the one that needed to watch out for the drone.
You never know what can happen when a drone's in the arena. Just like with the Geminis, friendly fire is always possible. Not a lot of clear-cut attacks from either bot yet. Just a lot of good driving. There's a mistake from Bombshell, and a good flip by Bronco as he's able to capitalize, and he continues to attack.
I was going to say Bronco had multiple opportunities to get a flip in, but he was waiting for that right moment, and he succeeded.
He's going into this fight assuming he needs the win to get into the tournament. Bombshell's able to flip him over. Now we see if Bronco can self-right as the camera struggles to keep up with the action. Bombshell takes a big piece of wheel guard off.
And Bronco is still struggling.
It appears that a set of wheels are touching the ground slightly. Bronco is trying to navigate to a safe spot to flip himself over. He's lost a lot of pieces and a lot of time as well, as Bombshell is being maybe too patient. Bronco's still on the wrong side. Now he's going after Bombshell. I can't even tell if he's trying to fire the weapon or not.
I was going to say, it looks like a lot of lack of attempt in terms of trying to flip back over from Bronco, but I'm unsure if it's because of the weapon usage or because of a lack of trying.
Could be strength, it could be damage that he suffered. I don't think he suffered a lot of damage on the weapon, but the wheel guards are really falling apart. Every time Bombshell moves in, he takes off another piece. I think he lost another chunk there, Bronco. He's still unable to self-right. And Bombshell's gonna keep him here as long as he can. There's a big chunk of flipper now.
It's one of those moments where Bombshell's just seizing the opportunity this whole match, just going after Bronco now that he's stuck on his back.
He's the one in a good position with the 2-1 record. He doesn't need to chase this. He's doing the bare minimum. Bronco is down to 3 wheels. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know when that came off because I wasn't totally paying attention. But this one is gonna go to the judges, and this one is gonna be interesting. Well, at first we had a good tactical battle on our hands. Both bots were driving pretty well, mistake-free, except for a couple of moments.
I think the couple of moments in general, the drone got involved, didn't really benefit Bombshell at all, kind of hindered him, to be honest.
And once the drone was out of the immediate way of these bots, we saw a little bit of action. Both bots getting flipped, and one, being Bronco, could not self-right again.
I want to know why there wasn't an attempt, or if there were, what happened, because I feel like he should have at least been able to try to get back on the right side.
Whether it was an internal or external problem, the judges will have to decide his fate in this fight, and that's not how he wanted it.
The results from the judges are in. Your winner, by unanimous decision, is... Bombshell!
Well,
I'm not sure what happened there, because he's supposed to be able to self-right, and it just wasn't working.
I guess it just wasn't in his cards.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well, putting that behind us, we have the 4th match for the night, Death Star versus Black Dragon. This match feels like an eliminator, given the matching records and similar strength of schedule.
Matching records, similar strength of schedule, and the gap will be widened by whoever wins. The bot that loses needs to be very careful here not to go down in an embarrassing fashion, because it's going to be fine margins in that 2-2 range in the middle of the pack.
Well, do you think if they do reach that 2-2 range, they have a chance?
Well, it depends. It depends on how they do in this fight, and it depends on who wins, because of whoever loses then is in that situation, and it's going to change the conversation. So like if Death Star wins, then he's out of it, and it might change like who's involved. I'm not explaining this well at all. You guys kind of get what I'm saying, right? Like, just win the fight. Just win the goddamn fight, and you'll be fine. And if you lose, pray. Who do you believe in? Pray to him.
All right, well, let's see who's going to be down on their knees. Praying or not praying? Down in the box.
That's Kutcha.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, he's been talking to your mother and found out your biggest confession. You can't win this. You may fire when ready. From Death Star! In the blue square. Thank God this robot's name isn't Bad Dragon, or else we'd be having a different kind of black object in the box. Thankfully, it's Black Dragon!
Let the bot battle begin. It could be win and you're in, lose and go home for both of these machines. Death Star with a nice attack early on. Black Dragon tries to jump over him to get out of the way.
I'm just waiting to see how long Death Star can hold on to all of his weapons.
I assume he'll lose at least one in this fight. Take your bets on the over-under, everybody.
I want to say 3.
Black Dragon is trying to get some perches with his wedgelets, but Death Star is proving too tough to get under. And I see smoke coming from somebody.
Who's it coming from?
It's Death Star. It's one of Death Star's weapon motors. Early damage for Black Dragon. It'll feel really good if he can start poking off a couple of those saws, but he's really struggling in the pushing battle.
He's doing his best. He does have the smoke coming from him.
Trying to just concentrate on the weapon motors, it seems like. But now he's pinned in the corner. Death Star can only hold him for 11 seconds. 10 for the hold and 1 to react to the count, but he's gotten Black Dragon flipped over now. And back over again.
Death Star's actually holding up quite a bit better than I thought he was going to. Black Dragon again on his back.
We've seen Death Star be able to win fights from brute force, and there's some brute force taking off one of his weapons.
Oh, I need 2 more to go to win my bet. Oh, there's a second.
There's 2. Black Dragon fighting back. He lost a wedgelet at one point as well. So both bots are starting to fall apart a little bit. And now Black Dragon getting flipped over again as Death Star throws him into the wall. He is doing a great job of dictating where Black Dragon goes.
Black Dragon, though, using this, I think, to his advantage, trying to kind of go up against Death Star's weapons to maybe rewrite himself. He did it earlier in the match, but Death Star really is just dominating right now.
You wonder if this is a better position for Black Dragon to get damage, but he doesn't have as much control. Death Star, again, slamming him into the wall. And Black Dragon goes tumbling again. He's also lost a lot of those support pieces on the back, Black Dragon. He's still flipped over as well. Death Star seems comfortable to hold him here and pin him on his backside where those pieces were missing.
That's insane. He can't get out of it.
But the only problem is, as you'll see in a second, here is the countdown for the fight itself. This is not a knockout timer. It looks like Black Dragon is going to beat the count, and we're going to a judge's decision. What drama we have here. Well, for a fight with 2 bots desperate for the victory for their playoff chances, they certainly delivered.
They did indeed. Both of them had a great match. They both got damage on each other. I don't know who got more, to be fair. I do know, however, who won the pushing matches.
Yeah, it was Death Star for the majority of the fight, just shoving Black Dragon into the wall and somehow using that to flip him over. And even despite when he took the damage here from Black Dragon with those 2 discs in quick succession, he was on top of him again.
I think that was a great strategy, by the way, just holding him, box rushing him, pushing him throughout the entire match. I think that saved him in the end.
It didn't save your bet, though. You owe me $20. Let's go to the judges.
The results from the judges are in. Your winner, by unanimous decision, is... Death Star!
like Black Dragon's on his knees.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone's listening. It's a shame for Black Dragon too, because he started the year 2-0, and it was really looking good for him. And then when he lost to Yeti, that completely changed everything. That one mistake early in the Yeti fight, it cost him that fight. It cost him a better opponent, and I don't think he ever really recovered. So we'll see what the selection committee has to say as the final word. But Black Dragon, it's been disappointing.
Well, I hope he kind of has the chance to recover now, because that was a bloodbath. Which, going into the next fight, we have Bloodsport, versus Brutus. We haven't talked too much about Brutus this year, partially because that's how bad it's been for this machine.
Yeah, we thought Brutus maybe would turn a corner after his performance last year. He didn't do too bad, got a few nice wins, but this year has been so forgettable that one of his fights had to be highlighted, and the other two fights were him just getting his ass kicked, it seemed like.
He could still have a say in the standing, however, as he attempts to spoil the Bloodsport party.
Bloodsport is in an odd position now that he has lost to Mo. 2-1 is still good, but 2-2 with the loss to Brutus might be enough to push him on the wrong side of the line, so he's got to be very careful about how he approaches this fight.
Well, let's see if Bloodsport can pull this shit together. Down in the box.
Down in the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square. Okay, let's just check that list again. Let's see. It says you're guaranteed to lose, and he's out for, well, blood. Turning your remains into content for the next Saw movie, it's Bloodsport. In the blue square. This robot hates Shawn Michaels. He just keeps getting thrown through barbershop windows because of how bad he is as a teammate. And just like the Beefcake Wrestler, he's average at best. Prepare to go... meh. For Brutus!
Alright, Cap, you're our numbers guy. You're staring hard at the bracket. How detrimental to Bloodsport's playoff hopes would a loss to an 0-3 Brutus be?
I mean, a loss to an 0-3 Brutus is just really killer, but I think Bloodsport's wins have been rather impressive. It's a very powerful bot. If it loses to Brutus here, I think their best case scenario is a very low seed. I don't think it would completely knock him out. There's definitely a couple weaker 2-2s, but it would definitely really cripple his chances of getting anything higher than like a 30 seed.
Let the bot battle begin! Brutus looking to play spoiler here as Bloodsport is eyeing the postseason.
Doesn't look like any of them can really hit, or is Bloodsport hitting Brutus just barely?
I think he is just barely hitting him. The fork's actually more of a hindrance on Bloodsport.
Which I think he's realized.
Yeah, he has. Now he's going out the backside, taking off one of the discs of Brutus.
And another!
Oh, jeez! There goes another, and he
What an
lost
axe.
a tooth. Bloodsport did lose a tooth. Is he going to be too unbalanced when that weapon speeds up to speed? Seems like he's going to be okay. Brutus, however, is not okay, because now he is just a wedge. Trying to avoid an 0-4 season.
Brutus may be a wedge, but he's so far showing signs of being an aggressive wedge.
Well, he's got nothing to lose at this point. He's trying to get that win that might keep him out of the qualifiers next season. So he's still got a lot to fight for. Bloodsport trying to finish what he started here. Wins look good, knockouts look better as he is able to upend Brutus.
Now using that opportunity to kind of fire his weapon since it's at a high enough level to actually hit Brutus now.
It should be a lot easier if he can hold Brutus in this position. Halfway through the fight, and so far it has been all Bloodsport. Brutus running into the wall with a little bit of a lack of control moment. And Bloodsport trying to corner him. He would love to pop off one of those wheels. Brutus just spinning around. That definitely doesn't have the traction he would want when inverted. Big shot there by Bloodsport. Another big hit from Bloodsport. Brutus now with a static shot and another one. He's not done yet,
But he is now.
Bloodsport gets the knockout he needed. Well, the fight on paper was a little lopsided. You still never know what happens until you get into the box, but now that we're out of the box, it was pretty lopsided.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious sometimes when you go in thinking it's going to be a lopsided match. You can see clearly and you can kind of predict that it will indeed be unfair in some sort of circumstance.
It's an 0-4 season for Brutus. He's got a lot to work on, but Bloodsport, his season is not finished yet.
Brutus couldn't pull together that win.
I mean, that's the story of his season. Just terrible. But for Bloodsport, I guess he'll feel a little bit fortunate. You know, that loss to Mo could have really been a turning point in his season. He didn't let it affect him too much. He took the opportunity that was given to him in this fourth round and got his win. And he's probably in the tournament.
Is that a leak? Do
No.
you know he's in?
I mean, no, we don't know yet. We're going to find out after, episode 16.
We shall see.
We're on episode 13. We got a long way to go, people.
So, to make that short, we're going to go into the next fight. Hypershock versus Voltronic. They're both 2-1, but it's definitely not the same type of 2-1.
Not one bit. Hypershock has fought some very tough competition. He's got a win against Son of Whyachi under his belt, which will go very far, and losing the Wipeout's never a bad thing. Voltronic is 2-1 as well, but he's been a lot more dull with his fights, a lot less highlights to show from him.
How does Voltronic pull off the upset, and what does he have to do?
He's got to find a way to win the ground clearance battle, and that's the only way he can win, because I think Hypershock's going to be too heavy for Voltronic to lift, because that lifter just hasn't been good enough. Or maybe he gets lucky and Hypershock flips himself, and that not-so-good self-riding mechanism comes into play. We've heard about it, haven't seen much of it, but that could be a sneaky way that he wins this fight.
Well, let's see if he's going to be sneaky. Sneaky. Down the bottom.
I can't move too much. This chair squeaks all the time. Here, listen, everyone, ready? I've barely moved.
In reality, it's just Nick's joints.
Could be.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square. Unlike his opponent, he likes things quick and speedy, which is why he only lasts 12 seconds in bed. It's Hypershock! In the blue square. Insert comment about a boring 3-minute fight where he does nothing here. He's dull? It's Voltronic!
Let the bot battle begin. Can Hypershock bounce back from that defeat to Wipeout? Or will Voltronic play spoiler?
Well, so far Hypershock has the better angle here. I think getting hits on his side, but I can't tell.
Yeah, if anything, it's some subtle clips. Oh, that wasn't a subtle clip, though, as he popped Voltronic in the air.
Easily getting underneath Voltronic, actually.
Yeah, Hypershock with that very aggressive approach. It works in most fights, and he's underneath Voltronic with him in the corner. And a nice flip there by Hypershock, but Voltronic self-rights.
While we saw the underbelly of Voltronic, you could kind of see all of the chassis damage as
Oh,
evident
yeah.
right there.
A lot of scuff marks on the backside as well, and another big shot from Hypershock.
If the rest of this fight goes this way, I'm pretty sure Hypershock's gonna win it.
And he's being patient when he needs to be, too. What happened there? Was that I don't know if that was a Havoc glitch or a weapon shot. But Hypershock in complete control of this fight. And Smoke.
It is not looking good for Voltronic.
His season started off with that close decision win against Tantrum. He has not done much since. And another big shot from Hypershock. He is making sure he gets into the postseason convincingly.
We're reaching the halfway point of the match, and it's really looking very one-sided.
More smoke just pouring out of Voltronic's chassis, and he can barely move around as Hypershock continues to charge at a fast pace.
I think we all know where this is headed, Nick.
Hypershock now just trying to get the knockout. Is this the moment? Voltronic's weapon has completely stopped moving, but Hypershock rights him, and then nearly flips him, and then finishes him. Beautiful work from Hypershock, and he gets a big win. Well, another fight where it could have been spoiler for the bot with the lower record, but Hypershock put on an absolute clinic tonight.
Yeah, I feel bad for Voltronic because it doesn't even really feel like he got the chance to try, but GG to Hypershock. Did very well.
Do you think this result was caused more by Hypershock's fast, aggressive approach, or a more timid approach that Voltronic seemed to put out there?
I don't want to say it's due to a bot's personality. I honestly think it's just that one bot was built better and the other is very rectangular and hard to grasp.
And Hypershock is the one grasping victory and moving on.
GG Hypershock.
Yeah, did what he needed to do. He was very confident in the way he went about that. He knew that this was a peculiar fight for him to have been given, and he made sure the selection committee had a lot to see.
And they saw indeed. But now going into the 7th fight for the night, we have Black Ice versus Lockjaw. Pride is at stake for these two and nothing more.
It's a tough one. It's going to be a tough ask for both bots to push their way into the tournament because they're both sitting at 1 and 2. And nobody wants to fall to 1 and 3, especially to another bot that's been struggling all season long. So bragging rights are up for grabs here.
Well, who is more disappointing this year and why?
I think Lockjaw has been very disappointing. The weapon was rebuilt with the hopes of getting some good damage, and he really hasn't done a lot of that. And he's just been poorly driven. He's just been all over the place this year. So they'll want to regroup as fast as possible. Hell, they may even throw the fight just so they can start building a new bot. I don't know.
Well, let's see if they throw it indeed down in the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square. His most effective weapon is bullshit. That and luck. It's Black Ice! In the blue square. He wishes he was like his older brothers. Popular, well-known, a champion. Sadly, he's just the runt of the litter. It's Lockjaw!
Let the bot battle begin. An immediate contact from both machines. Black Ice getting the better of that exchange.
Yeah, Lockjaw really just trying to get some kind of footing, but Black Ice is just kind of rolling him over.
It already seems like Lockjaw is just going to constantly bounce off and ride up that wedge of Black Ice. Looks like he's having issues again with his little arms. It's been a constant theme for him this season.
Something to look forward to fixing for the next.
Black Ice again underneath and getting those little discs to work.
No smoke.
Yeah, that's from Lockjaw. And now Black Ice teeing off with the cannon. 3 direct shots, 4 direct shots. That's going to cause serious damage. He is just absolutely toying with Lockjaw at the moment. He's on the attack again. Oh, and Lockjaw flipping Black Ice!
Is that it?
That's gonna be it! Black Ice does not have a self-righting mechanism, and out of nowhere, Lockjaw turns it around!
That's insane, doing a little victory dance with his army arms.
He's waving to the crowd or waving goodbye to Black Ice's playoff hopes. They are gone with the wind. Wow, this was a fast, frenetic approach from Black Ice, and for a long portion of this fight, it was going well.
I honestly thought that's how it was gonna go. I didn't think that Lockjaw was gonna get a chance to do what he did.
Yeah, when he finally found himself off of the wall with his arms down as well, he finally got that crucial shot.
Black Ice did his best, and if he didn't get flipped over, he would have succeeded. But Lockjaw played the patient game, and he came through for a win.
A real veteran move from the veteran bot, and a big, big win.
He didn't throw it.
No, he didn't throw it. I mean, it looked like he was going to, and then he said, psych!
Psych!
Well, that was very clever from Lockjaw. I don't know if it's enough for him to get into the tournament based on how the rest of his fights have gone. But at the end of the day, a poor build going 2-2, you can't ask for much more than that, I don't think.
And then finally, going into our main event for the night, I'm going to talk about another 2-2, right? We're about to get to 2-2. We have Son of Whyachi versus Biohazard. It's a bitter rivalry renewed with seeding on the line.
Yes, these two go way back. Of course, they have one of the classic matches of all time in BattleBots back in Season 3 in real life. They've fought on this channel a few times, and of course, Son of Whyachi has been the one to come out on top. But this one feels different, you know? Son of Whyachi is 2-1. He's been breaking a lot. Biohazard has been grinding his way. 2-1's good for him. So now that somebody has to go to 2-2, has to risk missing the playoffs, this is tense.
Yeah, and Biohazard will surely know that Sao has a fairly fragile weapon, so how does he expose that today?
He's got to be willing to take a few shots to the chin. He's going to be able to do that, and also if he can get Son of Whyachi towards the wall, let the wall do some of the work for him. Just keep making him hit things he's not supposed to hit, and I think the weapon will eventually break, and then maybe take advantage and flip him.
Well, let's see.
Down in the box.
Down in the box.
Down in the triangle.
No.
Down in the cellar.
No.
Let's pop open that wine.
You don't even like wine.
You're right, but we're going to pop it open anyway.
Normally you do champagne. Yeah, that's champagne.
That's fine. We'll do it with wine.
Down in the box.
Did you put a Mentos in it like a Diet Coke bottle?
Just go.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square. You know how this went many years ago. You annihilated him. Even better, you're heavier, you can drive better, and your weapon hits harder. You have to win this, right? No pressure. It's Son of Whyachi! In the blue square. Warning, you have just entered the uninhabitable zone. Evacuate now or suffer with disease and potential death over a period of 2 months. That, or you will die of humiliation if you lose to him. It's Biohazard!
When these two icons meet, it's important and it's memorable. And with so much on the line this time, there's no reason to doubt that they'll deliver again. Let the main event begin. It's a rematch of one of the most classic of real-life BattleBots fights, and both with playoff implications on the line. Big shot as pieces go flying.
I wonder if it was a good strategy move from Biohazard to let Sao get up to pace.
Oh!
But he is losing parts now.
Yeah, Sao hit the wall hard there and lost one of his bracing rods as chunks continue to fly off.
Tends to be an issue for Sao. Starts to lose his pieces.
Yeah, there goes another bracing rod. That was from the kill saws, but Biohazard lost his weapon. The head of the lifter is gone.
Oh, smoke now from Biohazard.
Yeah, he has taken some brutal shots despite Son of Whyachi falling apart at the moment. And another hard shot. Whyachi hitting the wall again and lost the last one. And now he lost a hammer. That weapon can't have many pieces left. Another big chunk came off. That looks like one of the tri-bar pieces itself.
I honestly don't know if he... Whoa!
Oh, no! Biohazard getting sent to the ceiling and flipped over. We're going to have to restart it. While the bots take time to make repairs and get ready for the rematch, let's take a look at the highlights. These hits were hard.
Yeah, Sao did an amazing job, but again, his weapon quality messed him up.
Yeah, Biohazard has a couple teeth on the front of his weapon. Do you think it was that or just the fragility of Sao that we've seen all season long?
I honestly think he's just a piece of glass.
He'll have to figure out how to be a piece of metal in the rematch if he wants to beat Biohazard. Round 2 coming up. Let the main event begin again.
Part 2.
So we will eagerly anticipate any tactical differences that these two bots might have going into this rematch, and Biohazard is taking hard shots already. What a shot there by Son of Whyachi. He is not slowing down much either after these hits.
I feel like his hits aren't as hard as they were before, though. Biohazard might be going in a little more tentatively. He is still getting the hits, though.
Sao is shaking a little bit. He lost something. I didn't really see what it was, though. Oh, and another piece goes flying.
Has more come off, but Biohazard also lost a piece as well.
And he lost the other part of his lifter. So now he's got no purchase.
Again.
Now, please just avoid the shrapnel, you two.
Oh,
They didn't avoid the shrapnel! And now Son of Whyachi has been flipped. It looks like Biohazard wants to try and right him himself so that they can keep the fight going. The refs are going to allow it. If he's unsuccessful, they'll have to restart. And it's successful, so the refs are going to let it continue. But both bots heavily damaged. Biohazard with smoke pouring out, and the lifter horribly damaged.
They're both just really whacking at each other, pushing, shoving. This is going to be probably what the rest of the match is, unless there's more Havoc glitches, of course.
Yeah, Son of Whyachi literally has no weapon left. It's part of an arm and a full bit of other arm. Biohazard has no way to attack or get underneath him. We'll see what arena hazards come into play, or maybe someone will get stuck on one of these pieces on the ground. Biohazard now shoving Son of Whyachi. Gets him into the wall and is trying to push him deeper into the corner. And perhaps flip him. If he can flip him, this could be the end of the fight, and he does get him flipped.
Unless he gets back up.
Son of Whyachi, he does! On the brink of death! Two Lazarus robots coming back from death to continue to fight on. These two just refuse to quit. Biohazard again trying to shove Son of Whyachi to the spikes, but he takes a shot himself. And we're hitting the final few seconds. Some way, somehow, this has gone to the judges. Incredible. Well, no matter who people thought would have won this fight before it started, I don't think anyone expected it to go to a judge's decision, but here we are.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was the Havoc glitch, and it leaves many questions in my mind, but both bots lost pieces. Both bots, were aggressive towards one another. This is going to be a hard decision.
Both bots had moments where they were close to losing the fight. They clawed their way back into it. It really shows the testament of these two bots. They're big names, they're big legends, and they certainly lived up to the billing.
Yeah, they both came into this match kind of wanting to prove themselves. And at the end of it, they proved that they're both resilient, minus, of course, Son of Whyachi's fragility.
It's going to be damn near impossible for the judges to pick a winner, but somebody has to win this epic main event. So let's go back down to the box to find out who takes the victory and moves to 3-1.
The results from the judges are in. Your winner, by unanimous decision, is... Biohazard!
Not happy with this one, Nick.
Why is that, Sam?
I have qualms.
You have qualms.
I have qualms.
What about?
I just think that it was unfair in the way that things were portrayed in this match. Somebody got some ruling, and somebody else should have gotten the same ruling, and they didn't.
Well, it's difficult.
Well, qualms.
Yeah, I guess you can say there was a little bit of added drama and controversy with the Havoc glitches in this fight. They're bound to happen eventually, and it's hard to know exactly when to pull the trigger on a fight, when to call a restart, when to call it for a judge's decision. But at the end of the day, we got some fantastic fight footage from those two for more than 3 minutes because we had to redo it. Biohazard getting the win, he'll be absolutely loving life because now he's overtaken Sal for the seeding. It's okay.
Stupid.
What?
I'd get up and leave if I could, but I have an injured knee.
Now if you catch me first. Aha!
Well, that's the episode. Get out.
Wait, we didn't summarize the episode, Sam. Hang on, don't kill me yet.
Making me look stupid.
Hang on. So, it was a great episode overall. We finally got our first field of bots that now have a completed record. Now we finally have some of the answers that we wanted to know. We've got Mo going 4-0. We've got bots in the middle that found their place. Black Dragon going 2-2. Lockjaw going 2-2.
Yeah, a bunch of 2-1s going into 2-2s, and then some turning into 3-1s. Huzzah for them.
Yep, Hypershock got a big win. Death Star got a big win. And it's still early days, of course, so don't try and make any brackets yet, because you're probably not going to have a lot of these bots correct. Maybe after, episode 15, when there's still a few bots to go, but most have the 4 fights. I mean, if you're excited, go for it. Let's see what you come up with. Let's see how accurate you are!
If you're accurate, Nick will do something special.
What kind of special?
If one of you can put in a comment somewhere a correct bracket before the actual bracket comes out, Nick will dye his hair.
And the person that guesses it can choose the color.
Yes.
Oh boy.
It'll only be frosted. It won't be all. It'll be back in his pink hair days. So this. This'll be a color right here. That'll be a color.
We'll see how it goes.
But it has to be done before it's actually broadcasted, and it can't be anybody that already knows. So no Cap, no Dom.
Yeah.
Nah, doesn't work that way. And if we find out you cheated and told somebody, then you have to dye your hair the color.
Ha-ha!
Just saying.
All right. Well, until then, let's say goodbye. It's probably time.
Bye.
And we'll see you in episode 14. Bye.
Bye.